In this video, we're going to take a look at how to add or subtract radicals. So let's say you have 3 square root of 2 plus 2 square root of 2. Okay, so first of all, when we take a look at the word radical, let me change the color of that. If you take a look at the word radical, we really mean any square root or cube root symbol. So basically anything under this sign is a radical. Okay, so that's a radical. So now, at first glance, this problem may look a little complicated because we're just not used to seeing the format, okay? So to draw an analogy, let's say I give you 3x plus 2x and I ask you to add those together. Well, then you might say that, well, there's 3 times x and 2 times x, so I'm just going to add the coefficients, 3 and 2, and that's going to give me 5, and then I'm just going to put the x down there. So 3x plus 2x is equal to 5x. Now, another analogy would be if I give you, 3 apples, and then I give you another 2 apples, right? And I ask you, well, what's the total? Well, that's an easy analogy. You might say, well, then I have 5 apples because you added 3 and the 2. So if I go ahead and highlight the apples, see, that's similar to the x. And as long as the x's are the same, okay, you can just plop it down here. So just add the coefficients, that makes it a 5, and then just, excuse me, plop the x's down here, okay, as 1x. So if you look at the initial problem given to us, notice carefully, I have a square root of 2 and square root of 2 in both cases. So since I do have that, I can just add the 3 and the 2, which gives me 5, and then I'll just put the square root of 2 beside it, just like I did the others, okay? So a problem that was inherently looked more complicated is not that complicated, okay? It just simplifies to something like a 3x plus 2x or maybe a 3 plus 2 apples. Okay, let's take a look at another example. So let's say I give you 4 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 3. So now, in this case, I'm not adding, I'm subtracting. Logic is still the same, okay? Whether it's addition or subtraction, you do the same thing. Since the square root of 3 is the same in both cases, we're just going to do 4 minus 2, which gives me 2, and then just put the square root of 3 beside the 2. And that's the answer. So let's see if we can do an addition and a subtraction as in the next example. So I have 7 square root of 2 plus 9 square root of 2 minus 3 square root of 2. Okay, so if I recognize that all of these have the same square root of 2 in them, then it becomes a matter of just adding and subtracting the coefficients. So 7 plus 9 gives me 16, minus 3 gives me 13. So that's 13, and then I put the square root of 2 beside it, okay? And then this you can take the same concept and relate it to radicals of unknown quantities inside them. So take, for example, 5 square root of x plus 6 square root of x minus 3 square root of x. So now the interesting thing is you don't really need to know what x is, okay? As long as you have the same terms, the same radical, okay? So square root of x, and square root of x, okay? Same radicals, then all you have to do is add the coefficients. So 5 plus 6 gives you 11, minus 3 is 8. So that makes it 8 square root of x, okay? And that pretty much wraps it up. I hope this helped you understand how to add or subtract radicals. I guess that's about it for this video. Have a good one.